What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wheel Talk. So today is Thursday, February 13th. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I'm expecting it to get kind of busy. And I might work Saturday to meet my $1,000 challenge, depending on how much I make today. Because for the most part, I know I can make 300, at least 300 on a Friday. But yeah, so a little update. So this morning, as I said before in my last video, today I was planning on going to DMV, and it took me about an hour and 20 minutes. I was trying to get the real ID, and you need to show like proof of identification and residency, and so I did that. It was pretty easy. They just scan your documents. The longest part is just waiting, but it would only take like an hour and 20 minutes. It wasn't that bad. And then you take a new picture with the real ID. But I contacted Uber support, and they said that they'll accept my temporary driver's license, because I didn't realize I was going to get a temporary driver's license. But they'll accept my temporary driver's license with my expired one, so I just have to include both of those in the same picture, and then it'll be approved for the app, which is good because it could take like 2 to 3 weeks for my license to get mailed to my address. So that means that I can keep driving on at least Uber, which now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of prefer. I mean, I already knew that I preferred Uber, that's why I only kept that app. But for example, when I was in Los Altos, when I got a request last night, excuse me, when I got a request to go out to Los Altos, there's not much out there, but I noticed that like for one Lyft request, I was sitting there with both apps open, and I had gotten like 6 requests for Uber in the same amount of time that I got for one request from Lyft. So that just shows you how much more dominant Uber is in the field of rideshare. And I also like that Uber is more responsive. They have better customer service when you try and reach out to them, and they solve your issues faster. And I just like the way that the app works better. I feel like the Lyft app gives you too much information. Like, I don't need to know the passenger's name. I don't need to know. It like overwhelms you with so much information. It gives you like too much info. Anyways, yeah, so right now I'm headed into work. It's 10:11, so I plan on getting in by, I'm not that far from work, but starting work, like actually sitting down, probably around 10:30. I don't think I'm gonna take a shower today, because I just need to get some shit done. I need to plan out for, it's called conjugations, when you're attaching one molecule to another molecule. But I need to do 2 conjugations and then continue planning out for 3 experiments that I have to do. So it's getting a little bit more busy at work, and it's just a matter of planning accordingly, making the most of my time and executing. Good time management and multitasking. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'll follow up with you all later on my progress of how much I made on Thursday, the 13th of February. I'll check back in with you guys. What's up, everybody? So I'm just checking back in for closing out this video. Currently it's 8:16. I got off of work around like 7 o'clock for my regular day job. And I say get off, but I just decided to work later because I was doing some planning, and basically that took me longer than expected, to be honest. Because I want to understand like reasons for things, and if I don't fully understand it, it's going to bother me. I've always been like that since I was in school. It's like if I don't really know the underlying reason for like rules of math, then it's like it's gonna bug me. It's almost like a minor form of OCD. And so today, something in chemistry, very simple, basic. You learn it in like high school chemistry, and is doing conversions from like, I don't know, micrograms to from milliliters to micrograms and things like that. But there's this like crazy long conversion of like going from millimoles, and you have to use Daltons, and I was like, hold on, why? Because I mean, there's literally the vendor who supplies the materials for the conjugation shows you the calculation that you need to do, and then you just plug in the concentration of your protein, and then it'll just calculate how much of volume you need for a specific thing. But the thing is, I was like, wait, I was looking at the formula because it spells it out, like it says what it is, not explicitly, but like it gives you an example. And I was like, why is it doing this division? I just didn't understand it. I was like, and I stared at that damn thing too damn long, and I was like on ChatGPT and just going, and just like what ended up helping me understand that problem is actually just writing it out. And basically there was a conversion within that problem, so there's two conversions, but they didn't write out one of the conversions, which is, I get it, I understand why they did it. And you know, this is not like super complicated, but it was just bugging me because I'm like, I know I should know this, and I'm glad that I stuck it through. And then that's when I decided to leave, because I was like, damn. And yeah, basically I spent too much time on that, but it's all right, you know, because I gotta remind myself, like, yeah, I'm doing Uber and Lyft, but my primary objective needs to be my day job. Like, that's my priority, and that's where my focus should be. And especially since things are picking up at work, I need to really focus on that. So what I'm planning on doing, I actually didn't drive today because I was tired, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna come home. I made $300 over Tuesday and Wednesday. I made $300, so that's like $150 per day. And then I was gonna drive today, but I think just doing all that planning, it tired me out. And so what I'm gonna do is, I'm going home right now, and you know, I'm just gonna see the family, my dogs. I have cats too, but they're some assholes, and I forgot about the chickens. I need to feed the damn chickens. Hopefully they have food. I'm pretty sure they have food, but anyways, yeah, I'm going home. I'm going to, you know, have a good night's sleep here, just check in with the family, and then I'm going to come back out tomorrow because I still didn't do those conjugations. But now that I have everything planned out, you know, I had to go to like different buildings to get a buffer and to do things the right way, you know, versus like making mistakes. It's better to do a thorough planning than to execute faster, and then you have to do it again because you made mistakes. So yeah, and then I'm a junior team member, but talking to my colleagues and asking them for advice and help, and it's very, like, I had a lot of questions, and I went to someone who has a lot of experience in my group, and then she's like, oh yeah, it gave me like answer specifically the questions that I had, because I was like, you know, if you don't have the experience, it's hard to know what to do. I mean, I could do things, but I don't know if this is the way they would do it, or the right way, or the standard protocol. You know, I could get shit done, but it's not going to be how they would want it to be done, and maybe not the most efficient way. But anyways, yeah, so long story short, basically I'm going to go back on Friday, do those conjugations, and then I'm going to, it's called coating your antibody. So you put like a protein in a 96 well plate, and you coat it onto these wells. And so I have to do that. That's overnight. And I'm thinking about going back on Saturday. So on Friday, I'll still do my stuff at my regular day job, then drive for Uber and Lyft till probably like 2 a.m. I'm shooting for like 300 to 350 tomorrow, because I'm still trying to hit the $1,000 challenge, which would be week 3 of the $1,000 challenge. And then I'm gonna stay out there in South City, stay at the mall, and go back to work on Saturday, because I have 24-hour access to the building. So it's not a deal. It's not an issue. I'm on a salary, so I could work when I want to, and I'm doing this because I want to do a good job with the 2 projects that I'm responsible for right now, and I want them to see that I could multitask and get things done and handle business. And so I'm not going to tell them that I went in on a Saturday, but I'm going to go in on a Saturday, perform the experiment that I need to perform, and then have the data. I'll analyze the data on Monday. So after Saturday, I'm also going to work on Saturday for Uber and Lyft, shooting for 300 and 350. So that's 7 plus my other 3. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. That's $1,000 if I make 350 over those 2 days. Yeah, and then Sunday is my birthday. I don't have anything planned for my birthday. I might have like a nice dinner with my family, but then it's like I don't want to spend the damn money. I was thinking about getting together with some friends from work, but I don't know. I'm just not really in the mood. My priorities are like, I always felt weird when it came to my birthday. I don't know why I feel like that, but like it's kind of weird to celebrate me. I don't know. I feel it's kind of weird. I don't know. But basically, I don't have anything planned for my birthday. I'm turning 31, and I'm trying to get out of debt by 31. So to be honest, me working like months and months of Uber and Lyft, even just this right now, is saving me a lot of time of like living paycheck to paycheck, and spinning my wheels. Actually living less than, like, I wasn't keeping up with my bills. I mean, like, I was keeping up, like I never defaulted or anything, but just like it was an unvirtuous cycle. And basically what I'm going to be doing is cutting off years of having to struggle with debt, because I have a lot of things that I need to do besides just paying off debt. Like I'm investing in my 401k, but not that much. Like my company gives me 6% and then they match me 4%. So that's 10. That's like 14%, which is close to what you should be putting, I guess. But I need to be putting like 15% of my own money into my 401k to be like to where I feel like comfortable. And then I don't know. I have a lot of other things that I need to start doing with my money versus just paying off debt. So I have a lot of plans for the future, and yeah, as of now, basically freeing up this money by the end of this year. Yeah, by the end of this year, so in like 8 months, I'll pay off like $60K, about $60,000. But it's like, it sounds crazy, but I know I can do it. It's just gonna take me some time. So paying off $60K sounds crazy, but that's just like the same with my weight loss. Imagine losing 80 pounds, but it's like, I've done things in my life that have bucked the trend before, and so this is nothing new. I kind of going against statistics, in my view, is kind of like saying F you to the system or whatever it is that you think you're holding back, and that's holding you back. I'm trying to think. Tired. I'm glad I came home and out in the boonies for the cuts. But anyways, yeah, so this is actually going to save years. Like, let's say this, if I just kept on paying the debt and doing as I was doing, it would have took me at least 5-6 years still just paying debt and a lot of interest. I'm going to be cutting out a lot of interest and debt, which that only saves me years, like 5 to 6 years of paying off debt, but that saves me in my retirement when I get older to retirement age, because I'm going to have that 5 or 6 years to start that where I'm going to be investing my money to be working for me as I get older. Now, what I really could do is double up. Like, imagine if I went a whole year doing Uber and Lyft and not having any debt, and then just kept like investing that. That'd be crazy, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think just getting out of debt is the main thing, like that consumer debt, high interest debt. Yeah. But that's it for this video. I'm going to close this one out. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Wheel Talk. I'll check back in with you tomorrow to see the progression that I made on my day job, and then also my earnings for Uber and Lyft.